we are again. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been in a filming mood, especially now that I can. It feels really good to film for y'all. And today's tub is a two-layer tub, and we're only going to do the bottom layer. Because I have decks that I want quick access to, so they're in the top layer, and then these are their own category, which is sort of celestial decks, sort of, you know, decks about moon phases, astrology, celestial bodies, all that stuff. And like before, I'm going to be really honest about all of them. And I really do love most of these, actually. This first deck right here, the Spirit de la Lune, which is also getting a French mass market release. Unfortunately, my French isn't good enough for me to be able to read with Oracle decks. But this is a stunner of a set. I really like the box. I really like the backs of the cards. I'd seen this deck. These are some cheat sheets and moon incantations and stuff. So this is not the deck, so I keep these on the top. I had seen this deck many a times, and I was like, I want it. It was kind of expensive, and I don't know what caused me to pull the trigger, but I was like, this is probably the best moon deck there is. So I decided to get it. And the cool thing about this deck is that there is sort of a major arcana. Let me see if I can... yeah, they're called the Moondalas. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 16 sort of major arcana cards called Moondalas. And each Moondala, this is what's really cool. Each Moondala comes with its own... no, not even true. These are not even the Moondala spread. So there's two main spreads, and then each Moondala has its own spread. So that's actually pretty cool. So a major arcana inspired spread, sort of. If this were a tarot deck, that's what I would call it. So that's a shit ton of content with this book. All the other cards about the moon phases and the sun signs, they don't have spreads, but you know, who cares? The book is in black and white. It's quite chunky. It's really good. So like I said, this is probably the best moon deck you can find. I love boxes like these with the foam inlays. I love touching the foam. The deck is rather small, actually. And they're circles, so you're probably not going to be able to read all the card titles, but it's a rather tiny, small, like little deck. Yet it's really pretty, really well made. The cards are a bit glossy. You can kind of see it catching the ring light a little bit, but it's not too bad. And it's very easy to use. It's very simple, very keyword based. It shuffles really well. It's a really cute little pocket deck that I could actually probably put in a bag and just use without the book, because that's how usable it is. But the book does add a lot, and those are the types of Oracle decks I like. I am absolutely smitten with these illustrations. They're kind of... There's so many layers in here. So, for example, we have the Pisces card here, and all the sun signs have archetypes attached to them, and the write-ups about them in the guidebook are amazing. So, for example, this is Scorpio is the shaman, Pisces was the psychic, what's this? Sagittarius is the explorer. So that's just amazing, and everything is tied to elements, and there's just so much here. There's so many layers, and that's exactly the type of Oracle deck I like. The one that has lots of layers, but also has lots of usability and simplicity. Sometimes it's the simplest decks that prove to be that prove to give the most profound readings. I really wish they would also, like, this company, Arcana Sacra, is doing all these amazing French mass market editions of decks. And I really, really, really wish they would also do it for English releases, because all these traditional English language publishers are not catching up quickly enough. They're being a bit lazy and a bit stupid. So yeah, I love this deck. I tend to use moon-based decks a bit more during winter time, honestly. I don't know, whenever it's like winter, I get more into the celestial realm. I don't into the celestial realms. I don't know why. The next deck I have right here is Starcode Astro, the Oracle. I got this in London with Martin last year. Honestly, guys, only used it once. It's on that atrocious new Hay House cardstock, which is really flimsy and really bad. The art was actually done by a tattoo artist, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. This does have a lot of like good and usable keywords, so that's cute. It has a really stunning look about it. I'm definitely putting this up top because I do want to use this a bit more. Back then, I was really into birth chart reading, and I wanted to offer those to clients as well, but fun fact, they take way too long. So what you would actually have to charge a client is such an exorbitant amount of money, and I didn't feel comfortable with it, considering the skill level I'm at. So I do have a couple of these decks. But it is really interesting. It is really interesting. You can use, a lot of times people ask me, what do you use decks like this for? Because, you know, the 11th house on its own doesn't really mean a whole lot per se in a divinatory sense. But, you know, if the deck has good keywords, just go off of them if you want to use them for divination. If you want to do like birth chart readings, it's a great way, rather than just having the chart. I feel like the charts themselves are very abstract for a lot of people, and I feel like decks like this kind of give you a visual prompt, kind of give clients a visual prompt. So yeah, I do like the depictions a lot, and overall it's just a very good set of keywords to use in a reading. Even if you don't want to use the astrological correspondences. And I just think it's a really good work of art. Like, this art must have taken ages. It's such high quality. And I don't know, it's so you can use them for divination when you just look at the keywords and don't really you know, focus too much on the astrology bit. You can use them as a visual cue for astrology readings if you want to do birth chart readings, stuff like that. And then you can also use them as flashcards for studying astrology. You know, there's a lot of really cool concepts in here that aren't in every deck. And it's just stunning art. It's really good quality art. So yeah, I do like this one. But is it my favorite deck ever? No. It was kind of a thing for a while. I don't know. Everybody was all up in the astrology gig. Same with me. But yeah. Oh, this next one. Oh, it's so good. And the creators are so friendly and kind. Star Temple Oracle by Susie Cherub. Really, really pretty. Really well done. Artwork by Leila Savoilanen, who is obviously very Finnish. I'm guessing, judging by her name. A really stunning Blue Angel deck, probably one of my favorite mass market Oracle decks. Susie knows how to write an Oracle deck. I really want to get her new one, but I had it on pre-order, and then Amazon pretended to not have it, and then I canceled the pre-order, and then all of a sudden they did have it, but for $20 more than I originally intended to pay. So I was like, no ma'am. This is based on the Pleiadians, but not necessarily the New Age idea of Pleiadians, but more based on the mythology of the Seven Sisters. So I like that a lot. I'm more of a mythology kind of guy rather than a New Age kind of guy. The illustration work in this is gorgeous. Layla really knows how to work her photo manipulation, digital drawing, Photoshop stuff. I don't know. It's very evocative, and the texts are really good. Susie is a really good Oracle writer. These are all decks that were created, not necessarily decks that were based on pre-existing art, as is the case with a lot of Blue Angel decks. You get, there's sort of a system of suits. So this is the name of the Star Sister. This is the name of the card. You get a keyword, and then you get a really inspiring affirmation that is not cookie cutter, and that she actually took the time to, she took some time thinking about these. So, and all these suits are kind of themed, as you may notice when you kind of look at the names of the Star Sisters. There's men in this deck. Wow, like even like more than one. This is one of my favorite cards. Is this that guy, you know, Aquaman, Jason Momoa? Not sure, but he sure as hell looks like it, and I love this card. So yeah, I used to do a really good reading with this. It used to be a top seller on my Etsy. The star reading, it's a really good spread that Susie created. And you can really tell, like, all of her decks are really good, but you can tell that this was her first because there's so much raw energy and enthusiasm and potential in this whole set. If you're into Oracle cards, I would recommend this 10 out of 10. It's really, really good. It looks way more... It doesn't... And by looks basic, I don't mean it's a basic looking set. Not at all. I think the quality of illustration is definitely up there with a lot of the indie stuff that gets released. But it... You know, it looks kind of formulaic, but it's not. It's really good. So, yeah. Ooh, another favorite. Not... this was kind of a bust. The Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. I honestly think I didn't have the original Moonology cards because I thought the designs on them looked absolutely hideous, and I never got the appeal. I love the aesthetic of these way more. It's not a bad deck, y'all, honestly, but it's practically the same as the first. It does have interesting pointers, though. So there's that, and it's not all love and light. It asks... It's not necessarily an affirmation deck, not at all. It's an action deck, so it's telling you what you need to do. It's literally very verb heavy, which I like. I do like that. But this is a bit basic in the sense that we're like, oh yeah, another silhouette with the moon, another silhouette with the moon, another silhouette with the moon. Y'all get my drift. Not all the moon phases are in here because Susie, or Jasmine doesn't think they're all that important, which I think is a missed opportunity. When it comes to moon decks, I think it's pretty good for, you know, when it comes to mass market moon decks. I think this is probably one of the better ones you can get. If you want to spend a little bit more money on a really high quality product, get the Spirit de la Lune, even though it has, you know, glossy cardstock, which everyone seems to hate. It's not always about the aesthetics. It's sometimes also about actual content that is there. And I don't feel this was a very conscious creation of Jasmine, to be honest. Another one that's actually really good. The Starseed Oracle. Not the biggest fan of Rebecca Campbell. A very big fan of Rebecca of Daniel Noel. Loathe this box style, but hey, you know. So this is very much based on Starseed ideology, which is not something I can really get behind. But a lot of the texts on here, the keywords, I do really jive well with, and I love Daniel's art. As you may know, I have to yawn a little bit. It was a very tense day, and I'm actually unwinding now by doing this, which is good, but, man, work is tough, guys. It's really pretty. It's really cool. If you have a Rebecca Campbell deck, you don't need any more of them. Starseed Tarot Moran, my good friend, he actually has a really interesting video where he compares the Starseed Oracle to the Work Your Light Oracle to the Rose Oracle, and there's so many duplicates in between. I've never really felt attracted to the Work Your Light, honestly. But I did kind of feel an attraction to the Rose Oracle that may end up in my shopping basket every, maybe, you know, whenever, you know, when there's a sale on Amazon or something, when I can get it for really cheap, because I do like that deck. But, you know, there are a lot of similarities. I do really like this, this photoshopped collage-y style, and Daniel Noel is the best at it. Very often duplicated, never as successful as the original. I'm not saying she's the first one to do this, but this ethereal style, I feel like in the deck market, she is the best at. Speaking of which, I got this very recently, and I never thought I'd say this, but this is a great deck, the Starchild Tarot, the Akashic edition. Most of the cards in here I actually prefer to the like bigger first edition, except for the Lovers. I hate that, but this is a really good deck. I like this so much. I used to have the Moonchild. Thought I would love it, didn't. This is straight up my wheelhouse. It's a bit more pippish. It's a bit more leaving things open for interpretation, which I like. I like my decks to be like that. I don't want my decks to dictate to me what the exact meaning of every card is, because I already know, I already have that base knowledge, and I can go a step further and let my intuition do the talking. Great color work in this deck. The edges are divine. It's top-notch quality, y'all. Not even when it comes to production, but also when it comes to like the way the cards are depicted. That's funny. The edging is a bit sticky sometimes. You sometimes get that with matte gold lamination. Nothing a quick shuffle can't fix though. But yeah, I could just do a full flip through of this, because that's how much I love it, how much I love the deck, and I never thought I would. And I'm so glad Martin gifted me this, because it's absolutely stunning. Really good set. Ooh, this one. I got it in this really pretty bag because the box is atrocious and the deck also kind of is. Haha, hee hee hoo hoo. But I just can't get rid of it because some of the art is just too good. This is the Cosmos Tarot and Oracle deck. The second edition by Light Gray Art Labs. And a couple of things that I don't like about the deck. Branding on the backs. It's cardstock. It has these gold edges, which is cool. The cardstock they chose, the thickness is too thin to have gold foil stamping on the front, and this has this is a very glossy cardstock, as you can see. But yeah, the cardstock is too thin to have that stamping, and it kind of protrudes into the back, which I can't really show you right now, but I may do that later. I think this deck is fabulous. It's a tarot and oracle deck combined in one. So yeah, it's really cool. I think we have all the oracle cards here first. Yeah, so let me get those out of the way really quickly. Yeah, so now we're into the... Oh, is it literally like... No, it's not in order. Or is it? No, it's not. Okay. So, whatever. We're into the majors now. We're into the tarot cards. This is a collab deck, and I really like it. I like and that rarely is the case. Normally with collab decks, I'm like, yeah, I like 25% of the cards, or I adore 25% of the cards. Then 50% I can kind of like, you know, give or take, have or lose. And then there is parts of the card that I just hate parts of the deck. With this deck, there's only one card I dislike, and I don't know if we're going to get to that card, but this has keywords. It has a planet or a planetary celestial being, and a... we're getting a lot of oracle cards. Yeah, like, wow, what the hell. But yeah, you're getting a star, and then you get some keywords, and then you get the tarot reference up top, and I do love that a lot. So we're obviously not going to get to the card that I dislike. Oh, we actually are. Lol. I can already see it. This almost made me not want to get the deck, but it's really cool, and I haven't used this that much. But once again, like, these are going straight back into their drawers, because all these celestial decks, I love using those more in winter. I rarely ever feel like I want to use a deck like this during fall. During fall, I tend to go for more earthy, fairy, liminal space type decks, if that makes sense to y'all. So now I gotta get this back into its pouch without destroying it. But yeah, stunning set. Another one. Really great. This is another astrology one. It's a deck and book set. This is the first tool ever, the Heavenly Bodies Astrology Deck hardcover guidebook, by the way. This is the first ever astrology tool that helped me understand what astrology is and how birth charts work. So that's quite a feat. You can use it on its own as an oracle because it has great keywords. And I don't know, it's just stunning. It's very sort of shabby chic, art journal, watercolory, really cool. So yeah, it's just a stunning set. Do we have all these aspects up top now? Are they in order? I think they are. Earth, air, fire, water. Yeah. Yin, yang. Yeah, I keep these in order because I use these to visualize my birth chart readings. Cardinal, fixed, mutable, south node, then we'll have the moon. Okay, for example, if your moon is in Pisces in the... Let me find a house. If your moon is in Pisces in the 7th house, what does that mean? It means that your emotional needs, your self-nurturing, and your nurturing of others, especially comes to fruition when it comes to intimacy, intuition, and compassion, and especially when it's a really intimate and romantic partnership. Sort of like that. You could kind of sort of use it like that in a reading. So, yeah, It's a really sweet deck, really cool. And like I said, it works great as an Oracle deck because the keywords are really good. So, and this is one that I can kind of use year-round because of the look. So yeah. Ooh, this one is really sweet. This is by Maeve. Maeve is a close friend of mine. We're not that engaged with each other at the moment because she's kind of got a lot going on. But, you know, every now and then we catch up. The Mystic Midnight Oracle is one of those really cool, aesthetically pleasing gold foil decks. And it's really stunning. It's on 400 GSM cardstock with really cool matte gold lamination. And this has really, you know, it's gold foil, so you need to kind of catch the light, you know, just like that. Yeah, kind of like that. So this is also an astrology sort of like celestial deck, but this also has kind of a tarot-esque major arcana. So I can't show this that well, but it's really stunning. It's a really good deck. I think I have these sorted by suit. I'm not sure though, but really, really cool line work. Really sweet. So this is a planet card. This is a sun sign card. I don't know if you can see that, but she chose to have the very literal constellation on there, which I like a lot. And this is a celestial body card. And this is another major card. So there's basically a couple of suits in here. Really pretty, really cute. I love the way it looks. It's very affordable right now. So the Mystic Midnight Oracle. Just Google that shit and you'll find it, or find it on Instagram because this is, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I can tell you that. A tarot deck. Once again, in a cute little pouch. Such a good deck. So great. The Ma'at Tarot. The Ma'at Tarot by Julie Kucha Watts. Stunning deck. Huge cards. Lovely backs. Why is this in here? Because every card is linked to a moon phase or a solstice. So that makes for really interesting readings. Also kind of like maybe like predictive stuff every now and then. Seasons are very much represented in this deck. Holidays, Wheel of the Year stuff is very much in this deck. And I use those the most for time predictions. So that's actually really interesting. The main reason why I got it is because of that. I loved that idea of associating every tarot card with a moon phase. But I also bought it because I love her artwork. I find it really insane that her, in my opinion, weakest deck got a mass market publication, and her strongest deck never got picked up. I don't get that at all. But yeah, she's a stunning artist. It is kind of expensive, this big version, but you can also get a smaller version for a lot cheaper. So yeah, the Ma'at Tarot, steeped in moon magic, and that's just, I don't know, stunning. I do realize that I have one deck that should be in here, or that could be in here, but it's not because it is in the fucking cool deck box where I keep all my fucking cool decks. The next one is the Ethereal Orbs Oracle deck. Nowadays, this comes in a hard box. I still have the first Chuck Box edition. Really stunning cards. This deck is all about the mansions of the moon, which is a very interesting theory. Very cool thing to do a deep dive into. It's really stunning. I can't tell you much more about it right now because it, you know, it looks really cool, but it doesn't look that exciting because the makeup of every card is the same. But there's so much interesting information and gorgeous prose on the cards, and then the guidebook is just absolutely stunning and stellar. It's for this version, it's digital only. I don't know about the new hardcover box version, but I actually quite like that I have this version because, you know, it makes for a really handy pocket deck. And then my final deck, which is also my latest addition to this Celestial deck collection, would be the Moon deck. After 3 years of admiring this, I decided to splurge and get the deluxe wooden box version, which I think is absolutely stellar and stunning. Let's see, let's get all these extra cards out of the way. This is a very basic looking, well, no, not looking. When I say looking, I don't necessarily mean the aesthetic, but this looks like your random standard affirmation deck. But the affirmations are so well written, so well thought out, so gorgeously combined with this stunning artwork. I always didn't want to get this deck, even though I secretly loved it because I thought it was too femme. But you know, I have welcomed that divine, loving, motherly energy into my life, and I love this card. I'm ready. Thank you. I am ready. I'm so ready to let all this work bullshit go. I'm gonna take a bath after this. So this is very good for affirmative work, and then for each card, there's an amazing process in the guidebook. Let me give you an example. The rhythm of my breath directs the rhythm of my life. So that's card number 4. Let me tell you what that says. So the card has this title, which you can't see on the card, and you know, rightfully so, because it's not that necessary. Breath. So you get this whole story, but then you get, for each card, you get a ritual that you can do. So every card has amazing rituals. So this is not just affirmation, this is call to action as well, which I adore, love. Couldn't live without this deck now. It's one of my favorites in my collection, honestly, it really is. So yeah, and then the gorgeous wooden box. It's just stunning, stellar. I believe they were one of the first to present the world with such an offering. And it's just really special, it really is. So those are all my Celestial lunar style decks. I hope you liked it, and bye-bye.